You're watching the 2026 Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational. Beautiful start to our weekend. Just down the road from Clearwater Beach, America's favorite beaches, America's favorite early season softball tournament. Year 7, we've got another top 20 showdown. It's LSU, first game of the day, taking on a Duke team that just picked up their first top 25 win of the season against A&M. Part of 40 games in 4 days, 10 teams ranked in the top 25. 3 of those returning from the Women's College World Series a year ago. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher, Amanda Scarborough with you. And Amanda, yesterday, really a tale of 2 games for LSU. They were blanked by Nebraska, picked up a nice win against Oklahoma State. Taking on a Duke team that I think surprised some people, putting up a bunch of runs against A&M earlier.
Yeah, I think from all across the board, the games that we've seen, the teams that we've kind of seen a roller coaster inside the games and game to game. So LSU was shut out in that first game, and then they came and it put in a 9 spot against Oklahoma State, and then Nebraska put up big runs against A&M. So I'm interested to see how the offenses show up, which LSU offense is going to show up in this one, and is Duke going to keep the momentum from earlier today.
Speaking of offense, our impact players brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater. These 2 have produced a lot of it so far.
Mina Vega, the second baseman for Duke, the senior, had a 2-run home run out of one of 3 home runs that Duke hit against Texas A&M, and then Tori Edwards, who had a monster freshman year, doing more of the same thing in her sophomore year. Big home run power out of her, the SEC Freshman of the Year last year.
Jaden Heavner will make her second appearance of the 2026 Clearwater Invitational. First one didn't go so hot. Not all of that was on her. Gave up 5 runs, though only 1 was earned. She's going to need some more help defensively today against the Duke team that put it in play a lot this morning.
Yeah, for sure. And Nebraska's offense can be really good at times, too. I'm telling you, it's interesting the offenses that we've seen be really good and then go quiet at times throughout the first 2 days of this tournament. Jaden Heavner, though, as sophomore, she's just so good. Had a fantastic freshman year. They were talking to the umpire with Beth Trina, her head coach, and her pitching coach, kind of messing with the dirt out there in the pitching circle around the rubber. Remember, Nyjah Kennedy, we saw pitch last night for Texas Tech against Northwestern. She was kind of having some trouble with the dirt and getting her footing underneath her, just not feeling really comfortable in the circle with the dirt there, but we'll see how Jane Heavner tackles this mound. See, she has her pitching toe on her other cleat, right? Because we were talking about Nyjah Kennedy, and her pitching toe was on her right shoe. This one is going to be white on white cleats, so you can't see it as much. Nyjah stuck out so much because it was black on white cleats. Jane Heavner has the white on white pitching toe with tape over the toe, or over the arch of her foot.
Well, we did see Nyjah's cleat dip fall off yesterday. So maybe Jaden Heavner saw that and was like, well, I've got the late game on field 9. There's already been 2 games today on that field. Maybe I should increase the security of this thing.
Yeah. I don't think it fell off, by the way. I think she tore it off, Nyjah, last night and then
because
threw
it was
it down.
Sort of flailing a little bit.
Coming off, yeah. Not having it.
Strike 1 to Deanna Jennings. Duke today plated 9 runs against the top 10 Texas A&M team. Really all up and down the lineup. And Amanda, they scored early and often. 4 times they scored over the 7-inning game against Texas A&M, and that has become a marker of Marissa Young's team early in the year.
Well, they're on a bit of a scoring roll right now, scoring in, at one point it was 12 innings straight going back to their opening weekend and into that A&M game. So they just continue to find different ways to score. They hit 3 home runs in that one game. They hit 4 the entire opening weekend in 5 games.
Jennings, diving play by Kylie Edwards, rolling with the throw, not in time to catch the speedy Jennings.
And Deanna Jennings has been on fire. Going up against Jaden Huebner, who I just think has really electric stuff when she's at her best. She'll throw in the mid to upper 60s, go to her curveball, rise ball, and mix in a changeup. She's just very difficult to square up because she has really deceptive movement. She can be effectively wild at times and lose her command. But when she throws strikes and she's not walking hitters, she's just difficult to barrel up and has a low batting average against her, but sometimes gets into trouble with walks.
Can ill afford free passes against a Duke team that has reached base to start the game for the 4th straight game. Plays sort of into that theme that we talked about with the consistent pressure, Amanda, that we saw them apply to Texas A&M pitchers earlier today.
Oh, it's just Deanna Jennings. She's just so electric as the leadoff hitter for Duke, constantly finding different ways to get on base and a lot of trust that they have in her. Marissa Young says, when D goes, we go. She sets a tone for this lineup.
Amina Vega at the plate right now has some serious pop. Saw her homer earlier today against A&M. Rolls this into the gap in right field. Jennings will stay put. No, she's going to go on the bobble by Franklin and slides in without a throw. Great heads-up base running by Jennings.
A really great read by her. This is a Duke team and LSU, as Vega's actually going to take second base there because Jaden Huebner bobbled the ball. So 2 extra bases because of some bobbles on defense. And remember, you said it, whenever Jaden Huebner pitched against Nebraska, there were those 5 earned runs against her. A couple of extra bases here because of some defensive mistakes too.
And now Beth Torina is going to come out and talk to her infield and Huebner. Duke has scored 14 runs in the first inning combined over the last 3 games. So much speed, and Marissa Young said maybe in years past, especially over the last couple of seasons, they've been a get them on, move them over type of team. This year they feel like they still have the same type of speed and small ball ability, Amanda, but the increased power to take advantage of getting on base.
I even asked her, what are kind of some numbers that you want to shoot for? Because when we talked to Jerry Glasgow, the head coach of Texas Tech, he's very definitive. He wants 90 home runs and 500 runs scored. So I asked Marissa Young, were there any numbers that you guys are going to kind of going for? And she said, we don't chase numbers, but we want a team that's dynamic and adaptable game by game, whatever it's going to take to score runs. So get them on, move them over, and score them. They have those big bats, but they have a lot of speed, too, in their lineup.
Infield drawn in for Tyrena Jones. Chopper up the middle. Fielded it short by Kylie Edwards. Now on a run down is Jennings. And she's back safely at third. Now the other 2 runners need to get back to the base. And they will, without a throw from Macy Bergeron.
Yeah, so might look like it's a bit of a mistake from Deanna Jennings. What is she doing? She doesn't know what she's doing. She's venturing off, but this is exactly what she wanted. She wanted the attention of Kylie Edwards because she knew if she got out, then she had speed behind her, and then the backside runner would get to second base. Regardless, there's only maybe positive things that could come from that in terms of putting pressure on an LSU defense that had already committed 2 mistakes and trying to make them commit another mistake. Now the bases are loaded.
For the cleanup hitter, Jess Oakland, who makes her Duke debut today. Saw her drive in a run in her first Duke at bat, actually, today against Texas A&M. Former Big Ten Player of the Year 2 years ago. Down in the count 0-2 here with the bases loaded and nobody out. A big moment for both teams.
It's the time that you need a swing and miss. If you're Jaden Huebner, you really would like a strikeout in this situation.
Instead, that caught a piece of Oakland. Now, did it tip the bat first? And it appears Chelsea Clark, our home plate umpire, said it did. So it's a foul ball. And Oakland will remain at the plate, assuming she can shake this off. No, I beg your pardon. They're going to get together on this, and it is a hit by pitch.
You can tell that Jess Oakland is in some pain. I hope that she's okay. She had to miss opening weekend due to injury that she sustained in the fall, but hit by pitch that hits you in that type of area that looks like it's up and in on her hands, maybe her wrist. You can tell she's in pain from it. Oh, just does not feel good, but it's an RBI and another run for Duke in the first inning.
Fresh count for Jayla Stafford. What would you like to see Heavner do here to limit the damage?
Trust her defense. Really keep doing what she's doing. That one mistake there with the hit by pitch, trying to work a good hitter up and in on the hands, barely got her. That's another, it's pretty much just identical pitch that hit Oakland, except it's Stafford swinging at it. Something that I noticed that Duke did well against A&M was just adjust to the scouting report of each pitcher. They faced Sydney Lessentine, who was more up in the zone with her rise ball, and they were prepared for her the second and third innings. They seem ready for Heavner up in the zone.
Tatum Clopton already getting loose in the LSU pen. Great pitch. You said she needed a swing and a miss. Got it there for the first out.
Well, and she's capable of it too. In a bases loaded situation, less than 2 outs, you would love to have a strikeout. When you have a rise ball pitcher in the circle who can induce a lot of swings and misses like she did in her freshman year, it's exactly what she needed in that situation.
Kyrie Rodriguez comes up swinging. Rodriguez seeking her first hit of the Clearwater tournament.
You can see how hard that Macy Bergeron works behind the plate too when she's catching Jaden Heavner, because of her being a little bit wild at times. I mean, a lot of credit goes to Bergeron behind the plate, catching her for 2 years now, sometimes not really knowing where the ball might go out of the hand of Heavner. She has some really great breaks. She's just so tough to square up because of that wildness, her spin. She just has really unique stuff. And Beth Torina said she doesn't recall any pitcher that she's worked with that has stuff quite like how Jaden Heavner throws.
Rodriguez off the glove of Avery Hodge at third. 1 run is in. Play at the plate in time. Great tag by Macy Bergeron on the throw in by Avery Hodge, but a run does score to make it 2-0 Duke.
Staying on top of the ball, and Avery Hodge, who played shortstop last year for LSU, now playing third base. Good job of rebounding, grabbing the ball, good communication to know exactly what to do. I mean, this is kind of a blind throw for her. Picks it up, chunks it, and able to make the tag for an important second out in this inning, but Duke still scored another.
Layla Lamar at the plate. Daughter of Duke head coach Marissa Young. Still an opportunity to do some damage here, as she did against Texas A&M. Hit her first career home run.
LSU had not allowed a lot of first inning runs in their first 8 games. In fact, they'd only allowed 2 first inning runs in their first 8 games.
Rio to Lamar. First base open, Jada Baker on deck for Duke, the 8-hitter. Again, the Blue Devils, who have won 5 in a row since their opening day loss to Boston University, applying pressure.
All starts with Deanna Jennings, that leadoff batter for them, getting on, and then Amina Vega. Those two are so tough back-to-back in the order, hitting 1 and 2.
Lamar takes strike 2. Thought that was ball 4, and a full count now to the starting right fielder.
At the very bottom of the zone. Great job by Bergeron to help her out.
Pop up into right center and caught by Jayla Lassiter. Could have been worse for LSU. Duke plates 2 as we go to the home half. And just down the road, a little less relaxing at Eddie Seymour Softball Complex, simply because so many runs have been scored, keeping these fans up on their feet. Cassidy Curd going to try to keep runs off the board for Duke. First time we've seen her in this tournament, making her 3rd start of the young season.
Yeah, the senior in the circle for Duke off to a solid start. Pitcher has grown a ton mentally and knows and understands what she needs to do to be successful in her senior year. How about this lefty-lefty pitching matchup that we have going on here? Two, really, in my opinion, two of the best lefty pitchers that we have across the country.
LSU starting lineup led by Jayla Lassiter, Sierra Daniel, 2 returners at the top. Fly ball into right. Lamar chasing, diving. Fair ball can't get there. The speed of Lassiter holding her at 3rd base. Great start to the bottom of the 1st for LSU.
Yeah, LSU was wondering after the graduation of Danica Coffey who was going to be their leadoff hitter. And Jayla Lassiter has filled that hole. They also wondered who was going to play 3rd base, but Jayla Lassiter with her speed, Layla Lamar laying out for this one, trying to make that diving catch. And once it gets past her, it was a triple all the way with a chance, honestly, for it to be an end-the-park home run. You dive toward the line and it gets past you. That is what is at risk.
Sarah Daniel yesterday was 5 for 7 with a pair of RBI in a split against Nebraska and Oklahoma State. You mentioned LSU replacing Danica Coffey, one of the best hitters in program history, also a great leader, Amanda. And last year we had the pleasure of being in Baton Rouge for their regional, and Beth Torina said, look, Danica Coffey, this is her team. We follow her. It's a new era now at LSU with Danica Coffey moving on. This is a tournament where you can start to formulate whose team it is. Who does the Tiger offense follow in a rally situation? Sarah Daniel certainly a candidate, up 3-0 here. And draws a walk. Tying run aboard with nobody out in the 1st.
And Cassidy Curd throws with good velocity, likes to hammer up in the zone with her rise ball. In fact, she wants you to chase that rise ball, so LSU is going to have to see that rise ball down, mostly working a curve and rise ball mix. It'll be her go-to pitches. The one thing that Cassidy Curd has gotten in trouble with the last couple of years is her command. In fact, even opening weekend, she threw 10 innings and walked 8, struck out 12. So it's that walk number that she wanted to improve in her command coming into this season.
This is low to Allie Hutchins.
She had a really great freshman tournament here when Duke competed. I think she was a freshman. Really turned a lot of heads. She had electric stuff. A lot of swings and misses because of that rise ball, what she's capable of. There it is there. In fact, you know, her first 2 years at Duke, she had 31 wins, had a 1.48 ERA combined in her freshman and sophomore year. And then last year, that ERA kind of ballooned a little bit to 3.59. You saw that opponent batting average against her. 131 batting average against her is exceptional. Trying to get back to that form that you saw early on in her career. Her and Jane Heaton are very similar. Both lefties, both can struggle with command at times, both like to go up in the zone or get a lot of swings and misses.
Tying run at first base after the leadoff triple by Jayla Lassiter and the walk by Sierra Daniel. Curd with a 2-2 count. Right back to her, fumbled the ball, quickly to first, and secures the first out.
You could tell there was a lack of communication on that play because the entire infield should have been telling her go one. She picked up the ball, almost wrist and out because there was no communication. There was no runner coming home. That's where she thought that the play was going to be because she panicked a little bit, but her defense has to be telling her one. Look, she goes to throw home, there's no play, but ahead of that, they need to be telling her go one. Runner at third's not going anywhere.
Some changes to the Duke infield this year. Perhaps that's part of it as Marissa Young comes out. Jada Baker over at third base, first time in her career. Jayla Stafford starting at first base. They anticipated having Jess Oakland over there, but with her returning from injury, they've had to shuffle some things around. As we take a look at Amanda's keys to the game, brought to you by Shriners Children's.
For Duke, just to continue to score in multiple innings. It seems to be an important ingredient to their offensive success in winning games. Saw it earlier in the day against A&M. And then for LSU, take extra bases and use their speed. We actually saw Duke do that in the first inning, but the key to LSU's game, really aggressive on the base pass. They like to push the defense to make plays, take extra bases, go hard to first base. They pride themselves in base running. Need to use that today against Duke and put pressure on their defense.
Tori Edwards at the plate, the reigning SEC Freshman of the Year, has homered here at Clearwater already.
I think they're going to be really careful with her with first base open. Closer pitch there, didn't get the call, but it seems like they're just trying to pitch around her a little bit, maybe wanting to see if she'll chase. Or just paint a corner on the outside part of the plate there.
Now with a 3-1 count, do you attack if you're Curd, or do you play it safe?
I think still play it safe on the outside corner and see if you can get the call, see if you can get her to get herself out.
Strike two.
Like a pretty meaty pitch right there. Seemed like it had a lot of plate. And she liked that pitch. Look at her talking to her catcher, Rodriguez, back behind the plate.
Tying run in scoring position for Tori Edwards. Lays off the payoff. Bases loaded with one down in the first.
Something she's already done really well this year, Tori Edwards, is take her walks. Sign of a good hitter. Still being patient at the plate, knowing that teams want to be careful. She had 7 walks opening weekend.
And now Macy Badgeron. Boy, those two did a lot of damage last year for LSU. Edwards and Badgeron, such a wonderful tandem in this LSU lineup, really protecting one another.
That'll actually be an illegal pitch. Seemed like, I don't know, maybe something slipped underneath her, but she didn't let go of the ball, so that'll be an illegal pitch and a ball on the batter.
Remember last half inning before the start of the game, Jaden Heavner was messing around with the rubber. Wonder if Cassidy Curd is feeling some discomfort in the circle. Again, this is the 3rd game of the day here on Field 9. Field's a little bit more beat up than it was this morning. Ahead in the count here, 1-2.
You know, we've seen a lot of games on this field the past 3 years, and I don't recall this many pitchers being dissatisfied with the pitching circle as much as we've seen last night and today.
Beg your pardon, 3-1 count. Upstairs, a walk to drive in the first run of the game for LSU.
3 walks in this inning. You know that the scouting report, if you're LSU in the dugout, is to be patient. Struggle with command at times. So your goal right now as a hitter, especially after the 3 walks in this inning, is to make her prove that she can throw strikes.
You mentioned last year some of the uncharacteristic numbers for Cassidy Curd. So far in this game, 24 pitches, just 9 strikes. Last year dealt with the back injuries, even some her freshman year. Chopper, and it's a foul ball. And so in the offseason, they spent a lot of time, Amanda, trying to help her get her body dialed in physically. Changing some things with her start, trying to figure out how her body moves best. So still perhaps an adjustment period that we're seeing right now for Cassidy Curd.
Oh, getting the top of the zone there with that strike call. I think a lot of disagreement from the LSU dugout.
Lorenz flies it into right. Back on it at second base, Jennings. Sarah Daniel gets back to third.
So the tough part about it is that strike call, the pitch before, where the umpire called a pitch a little bit more up in the zone, led Lorenz to then swing at that one again a little bit more up in the zone to cause that lazy fly ball and an unproductive out. With 2 strikes, you have to protect, so she felt like she had to protect that one that was more up in the zone from the pitch call before.
Tying run at third for the sophomore Alex Franklin. And they appealed to third base. Jason Zanni, our third base umpire, called it strike 1. LSU seeking its first 2-out hit of the tournament. Went 0 for 14 yesterday with 2 outs.
Huge for Duke if they could get out of this. I mean, a mega opportunity with the bases loaded for LSU.
Tigers certainly left some meat on the bone in their 6-0 loss to Nebraska. Worked some of that out, scoring 9 runs against Oklahoma State to split day 1 of the tournament. 0-2 misses wide.
Already 30 pitches thrown by Cassidy Curd in this inning. LSU just really making her work.
Franklin left side, fielded it short. Jones flips to Jennings, and Curd gets out of the bases loaded jam, allowing just 1 run. Duke leads it after 1 in Clearwater. The 7th. And Kenny Gajewski's team playing 5 consecutive top 25 games at Clearwater.
It's just right next door to us. We can actually see left field from our booth. Be a major day for Kenny Gajewski, trying to get 2 top 10 wins. One against A&M and then trying to get the second one for UCLA.
Oh, 2 count over there with the bases loaded. Meanwhile here, a leadoff base hit for Duke on a diving attempt by Jayla Lassiter that just popped out of her glove.
It was incredible that she kept that in front of her and didn't allow it to go to the wall in the diving attempt.
Oh, what a pitch. With the bases loaded, potential game-winning run at third base in extra innings over on ESPNU.
Woo.
Bunt drop down here, and a nice play in from third, Avery Hodge. Aaliyah Terrell moves Jada Baker into scoring position.
Top of the order for the Blue Devils, now batting the center fielder, Deion Jennings.
There is never not excitement going on at Clearwater, whether it's our field or one of the other couple of fields with games going on simultaneously. And remember, you can be just like Amanda Scarborough. Take out your iPad or over on your TV, quad box it. As long as you hover the icon over us so it's our audio you're hearing. We don't care how many games you're watching.
Watch all the games.
Jennings waves at the off speed, 0-2. Jennings again to short. Edwards. 2 outs.
New left side of the infield for LSU this season with Kylie Edwards transferring from Mississippi State. Big pickup for them from the portal. And then Avery Hodge played shortstop last year for LSU. She slid over to third base, although we did see also Allie Hutchins, the Kentucky transfer, play there yesterday. So a lot of options for LSU.
Amina Vega singled back in the first, came around to score. Runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Takes strike 2. Vega in the air right field. Back on it, Franklin. It is off the top of the wall. Another run comes in for Duke on their second triple of the game.
Two out scoring for Duke. This is an 0-2 pitch from Heavner, and look at the pitch location. Needs to be a little bit higher than letter high in an 0-2 pitch, trying to expand the zone more up because of the way that Duke has proven today on this field that they can handle the rise ball. Vega almost had another home run. Nice 0-2 swing, trying to protect the plate, and took that Heavner rise ball all the way to the wall.
Now 4 for 5 today combined against A&M and LSU with 3 runs batted in. Well, wouldn't this be something for Duke to pick up 2 top 25 wins against the SEC? That ball gets away from Bergeron, in from third. Vega scores with a head-first slide.
I'm telling you right now, I really think that Amina Vega is going to be a highly sought-after player in the AUSL draft. A senior, she has speed. She can play a solid middle infield. She hits lefty for power, a little bit of pop. I mean, not a lot of middle infielder senior position players to choose from this year. A lot of options in the circle, but not a lot of position players. But she's going to be highly sought after in the AUSL draft. Remember, they did those golden tickets last year that they plan on doing again this year, that I think will be coming out later in the season, maybe end of March, April, I think somewhere along the lines of there. So be on the lookout for those AUSL golden tickets for the seniors to get drafted.
Jenny Dalton-Hill surmised that Amina Vega could be receiving a golden ticket.
She really likes her. That's that second base bond that she has, and has seen Amina Vega play a lot of games and all the ACC coverage that Jenny has done, the general manager of the Bandits. Somebody like her is just a really special player defensively and offensively. She brings a lot.
JDH might have been tipping her hand a little bit.
Maybe. I think there might be a fight for her. I don't know.
I think you're right.
All 6 of the AUSL teams might want in on her.
Jones, good eye, lays off that 3-2, and the inning continues for Duke.
I mean, can you believe that Duke just continues to score in all of these innings? There's been 1 inning today that they have not scored. They have scored in 15 of their last 18 innings. 34 runs scored total.
had that one blemish in their season opener against Boston, which we talked about in the last game against Texas A&M. Went up against a great mid-major pitcher. But since then, this offense has been electric and consistent with the pressure that they have applied against opposing pitching. Two-one count to Jess Oakland.
It's tough to put away. They don't strike out a lot, even against A&M. Just had 2 strikeouts, 1 strikeout here in this game against a pitcher who gets a lot of swings and misses.
Oh, that one got Oakland. Second time in this game that she's been hit.
Oh.
Boy, for a player who's making her Duke debut back from injury, seems to have a bit of a bullseye at the plate here. Good to see her laughing it off. I don't know if she'll be laughing tomorrow morning when she wakes up. I mean, hobbling around like Amanda Scarborough.
I am hobbling right now.
After the sumo squats. Here's Jayla Stafford. Boy, and you talked about, Amanda, Jaden Heavner being effectively wild when she's at her best. Right now, Duke is not biting on any of these pitches that might be nip and tuck around the zone.
A really good plate discipline. You know, every year that we've had this tournament, this is the 7th year now for the Clearwater Invitational. There's always winners and losers that come out of this tournament in terms of maybe a team goes 0-5 that you didn't expect, maybe a team goes 5-0 and just really faces a challenging schedule and doesn't lose. But it's always interesting at the end of this to kind of give a debrief, and especially the field of teams that we have at this tournament is the best complete field of teams that we've ever had. It's going to be interesting to see everybody's record when it's all said and done come Sunday.
3 consecutive free passes by Heavner after that triple by Amina Vega. And Beth Torina told us Jaden Heavner's a little bit of a different pitcher than she's used to coaching at LSU. Doesn't give up a ton of hits. Obviously, the free passes have been a blemish at times. But because she has been so good, Beth has sort of just said, I'm going to let her be her and not try to do some big overhaul because I don't want to mess with what works.
Yeah, she said she is who she is in regards to the walks, and it's not her game to be perfect. Kind of when you look at how it all kind of plays out, that put a walk where you would put a hit for someone else. Usually she's been so good about being able to work out of these jams, and where she's getting into trouble is the hit by pitches and the walks and the hits, giving up a little bit of everything, as Duke has just had really good at-bats off of her.
0-1 to Kyrie Rodriguez. Heavner allowed a program record 68 hits last year. Fewest allowed ever by a freshman pitcher. Pretty remarkable season. Has an 0-2 count here. Rodriguez to the right side, and Daniel handles it well. Duke, however, scores again, and the Blue Devils lead by 3. Fields 1, 3, 8, and 9, and our crew keeps us playing softball, so we appreciate the field crew here in Clearwater as we welcome you back to start the bottom of the second. A 4-1 lead for Duke, who has scored in 15 of their last 18 innings. Cassidy Curd taking on the bottom portion of the LSU lineup, beginning with the 8-hitter Kylie Edwards. Meanwhile, right now over on ESPNU, Ruby Malin, top 8, 2 out, 2 on, gets a big strikeout to keep UCLA off the board and tied at 3-3. And now Oklahoma State at the plate, trying to threaten to win this game. You can catch that live on ESPNU.
I really want to see the end of that one, so why don't we just keep up this, this 2-box and see how it plays out. We have UCLA a couple of times.
In Amanda Scarborough fashion, 2 games at least at once.
Minimum at all times. Oklahoma State with another opportunity to win it. They had that opportunity in the bottom of the 7th too. UCLA, this is their first game here at Clearwater. They just got going today. We started action yesterday. But not every team started playing yesterday, and not every field.
Now they have the bases loaded and 1 out. Taylor Tinsley in the circle for UCLA. Then Jaden Jones at the plate for the Cowgirls.
Another one of those senior pitchers that we talked about throughout this tournament. Taylor Tinsley in the circle for UCLA.
Chance for a big, big day at Clearwater for Kenny Gajewski and his team. Jones, right side, snared at second base, and it gets away. And Oklahoma State walks it off in extra innings against UCLA. Wow.
How about the way, too, that Cassidy Curd has come out and attacked the zone. That's exactly what you want to see from your senior. Was a little bit wild in that first inning, but goes right at Kylie Edwards and now goes right at Hodge, the 8-9 hitters get the bottom of the zone. Throwing a lot of strikes with his curveball in this inning. Couple curveballs to give Hodge there.
Just to put a bow on that win for Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
That's 2 top 10 wins in the same day for an Oklahoma State team that went 3-2, Amanda, in their opening weekend before Clearwater. Major momentum for Kenny G and the Cowgirls.
Yeah, those 2 losses, too, were against Stanford, a very good team, opening up their new stadium over on the West Coast in California. Beautiful new stadium, and that Stanford offense the past couple of years has been hard to hold down. Did more of the same opening weekend against the opponents that they faced. Just really excited, I think, about their new stadium.
They run ruled Oklahoma State 10-6 on Sunday of that opening weekend. 2-1 here to Jayla Lassiter, roped into left field, her second base into the game. And it extends the second inning for LSU.
Just a good swing by Jayla Lassiter. Look at how she keeps her hands in tight to her body to get to this pitch on the inner half. Clearly looking for that side, but in order to get the barrel there, you have to be so tight with your hands. They can't be out and around. Direct path to the ball. Nice swing by Jayla Lassiter again, too.
Sarah Daniel on the dish. In the air, left field. Taylor takes the catch. Is deep again this year in 2026. 5 teams ranked in the preseason, tied for the most all time, including Duke, who's on our field right now. We will see Florida State later in this tournament on field 9. A couple of All-Americans returning, but 9 freshmen, most ever under Lonnie Alameda. Duke trying to get back to the Women's College World Series. Reached it for the first time in program history in 2024. And Amanda, for our last break, you mentioned Stanford's new stadium, $50 million for the Stanford Cardinal. And it is gorgeous. Never been in person, only seen the videos and the pictures. But wow, a gem.
I remember last season, Stanford had to play their home games on their football field that was like over in a corner and kind of a makeshift field made for a really interesting home field environment for them. But a lot of teams getting new fields. We talked about Northwestern getting a new one as well. In the meantime, when that happens, it takes a little while, so you have to find somewhere else to play. So Northwestern's actually going to play at the ballpark at Rosemont, just by O'Hare.
First leadoff batter retired in this game for Jaden Heavner. Induces a pop-up of Jada Baker. 2 quick outs. Boy, she needed those, huh? Last couple of innings really dragged for Jaden Heavner. Gave up a couple of runs in the second inning with 2 outs. Triple, 3 free passes, and then a ground out before she got out of the second inning. One count to the 9-hitter Aaliyah Terrell. One-two to Terrell. Swing and a miss. A 1-2-3 third for Heavner.
That's what we're all hoping for. 2 top 10 matchups on Sunday night. Nyjah Kennedy versus Jordy Frahm. That would be a great pitching matchup. 2 really good offenses under the lights in Clearwater, trying to seal the deal here and wrap things up. It seemed like so long ago, a couple of days ago, and now here we are, 48 hours away.
Beth Mowins was really pitching Jerry Glasgow on throwing Nyjah Kennedy for that Sunday game. She said, America wants it. Come on, Jerry, give America what America wants.
Well, and we also want to see Carlin Pickens pitch in the game against Florida State. Jazzy Francic, give the people what they want.
Allie Hutchins with a pop out to second base, 1 away in the 3rd. The interesting thing with Nyjah Kennedy is that Jerry Glasgow told us they really shut her down, at least in the circle in the fall. A lot of rest and recovery. Let her get her feet under her at the plate while recovering from some of the nagging, maybe not injuries, but nicks and bumps that she suffered over the course of last season, throwing as many innings as she did. And so weren't sure how much we would see her. We saw her for a handful of innings yesterday on this field in a win against Northwestern.
I came in relief twice yesterday. Trying to turn on the Texas Tech FAU game on my iPad, but just like everybody else, it's making me sign in and I can't think of my credentials, and so I'm just going to sit there and look at the thumbnail and wonder what's happening in that game.
That sounds fun for you. If memory serves, Nyjah got a save yesterday against Florida State, right?
Yeah, that's right. She threw the last inning of that game in relief of Caitlin Terry.
2 gone in here in the 3rd. Base is clear for Macy Bergeron.
Both of these pitchers settling into this game. Right around the same time, Cassidy Curd had 4 batters that she faced in the second inning. Remember, Lassiter had that 2-out single against her, and then 3 up, 3 down for Jaden Heaver on the other side in the third inning.
Temperatures dropping just a touch here.
Yeah, it's only, let me check, 61.
Well, when you've spent all day in the sun, you know how when the sun starts to tuck behind the clouds, you do get a little bit of that chill.
Yeah, well, because you've been sweating, and the sweat turns cold, and the temperatures start to drop.
Those youngsters have probably been out here all day, too. This is the 3rd game on Field 9. Meanwhile, on the other side, in the sun, can they find any more room on that ball for another signature?
It's one of those autograph balls, but you know, when you're in the shade, it's cold. When you're in the sun, it probably feels really good. Hopefully have some sunscreen on.
Sweatshirts in the shade here on Field 9. And a tank top in the sun.
Oh.
That's wild. Same field.
I think they're laughing at the 2 shots. They were laughing that they were in it.
Char Lorenz with a chance here. 2 down and a runner aboard. LSU bats more patient perhaps in the 3rd. Little dose of Duke's own medicine. Launched into left field, tailing foul, and it will get way out of play.
Char Lorenz coming over from Louisville, where she had ties with Bryce Young, or excuse me, Bryce Neal, the the hitting coach for LSU.
Not the quarterback for the Panthers.
No.
Lorenz pops out. We'll talk more Bryce Neal later, but coming up next, Marissa Young joins the show. Another glorious day here in South Florida. Duke Blue Devils leading LSU 4-1. We're now joined by Marissa Young. Coach, your offense has scored in 15 of the last 19 innings. What's working right now for you at the plate?
We're just really bought into sticking to our plan, and every player trusts the person in front and behind them. They're coming in, they're giving each other really great information and feeding confidence to one another. They're just going for it.
Yeah, what's it like to have Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega hitting right next to each other, setting the tone for this order?
2 of the best in the country, and like I said, the information they provide to the dugout is huge. They're very dynamic and can get things going for us in a lot of different ways.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deanna Jennings and Amina Vega will come to the plate here to start the 4th. Those 2 in this game have combined for 3 hits, 3 runs scored, and a run batted in. But in 2 games today, those numbers are shocking. Jennings, Vega, and Jones included in the 3-hole. They have been fantastic.
You can tell that this Duke team is hungry after last season. In fact, both of these teams probably hungry after how their seasons ended. Regionals last season, in fact, a home regional that they ended up bowing out of and not making it to super regionals. Hard to believe that the last time that LSU made a World Series was 2017.
LSU, maybe more so than Duke, feeling some pressure this year because of the way that 3 of their last 4 years have ended in the regional. Walk on 4 pitches to Deanna Jennings. Meanwhile, CC Solora getting loose for the Tigers. Duke has some activity in their bullpen as well. But you're right, Amanda, and I think, just in the brief time that we've had to talk with Marissa this week, she mentioned that hunger a lot with this group, which does return a handful of starters, and maybe more importantly, the seniors who have been to the mountaintop with this program. First Women's College World Series appearance just a couple of years ago. And then the valley of hosting a regional last year and not making it out in Durham.
And they got a lot of their roster back from last season, and Marissa Young said that, that's kind of the beauty of things. We have experience, leadership, and a lot of people ready for this season. Man, I mean, you just see that they're ready for this tournament this weekend. You have a chance to come out in a tournament like this and make some noise. And Duke on opening day trying to go 2-0, which was hard to do yesterday for the teams that played 2 games. A lot of those teams split because there is so much parity, so many good teams. It's going to be hard to go 2-0 in a day. It's going to be hard to go 4-0 or 5-0 at this tournament because the competition is just so good.
Texas Tech, in fact, was the only team yesterday to go 2-0. Everyone else that played 2 games split, to your point. And for Duke, they can do it against a pair of top 10 teams, no less. 3-1 spoiled by Vega. Already a win today against Texas A&M in a hard-fought, very offensive matchup. And a 4-1 lead here in the top of the 4th against 10th ranked LSU. Good strikeout there from Heavner. Boy, it felt like she needed that one to get the first out of the 4th.
Up and in with the rise ball to get that swing and miss. That lefty on lefty matchup, kind of nods her head after that strikeout. I don't know, there's a little something going on there. A little fiery action from Heavner after that strikeout against Vega, and then now a hit by pitch.
Six free passes from Heavner, 3 hit by pitches drawn by this Duke offense. Now runners at first and second for the cleanup hitter, Jess Oakland.
Now batting is designated player number 9, Jessica Oakland.
Just knowing the big bat that Jess Oakland had when she transferred out. Unfortunately, it had to sit out last year because she was that mid-year transfer like we talked about.
Rips this right into the mid of Kylie Edwards. Ball gets away from Sierra Daniel. Up to third goes Deanna Jennings. Well, there was a split moment there where there was an opportunity for an inning-ending double play, and instead runners at the corners with 2 down.
There's a well-struck ball in Kylie Edwards' position right at the right spot to be able to come away with an out instead of letting that get to the left center field gap for extra bases and runs. All right, though, definitely could have been a double play, and now Duke able to advance 60 feet closer to scoring because of that error.
Jayla Stafford, right side, shoots it into right field, taking advantage of the extra opportunity. Diving back to the bag, safe under the tag of Edwards. And Jayla Stafford continues this excellent Duke offensive run. The Blue Devils have scored now in 16 of their last 20 innings at the plate.
Just finding a hole on the opposite side of the field, getting it to the grass and out of the reach of Sierra Daniel over at second base and right in front of Franklin. I mean, Duke just continues to find ways to take extra 60 feet to advance runners, really productive outs, leading to all these different types of runs that they're scoring.
Kyrie Rodriguez fouls it out of play. Well, if you're Marissa Young, you have got to love that your leadoff has come around to score all 3 times that they have gotten on in this game.
The dream. Want to get that leadoff on. Everybody might have a chance throughout the lineup at different times, so it's not just Deanna Jennings, although they've been lucky in the past 2 games. She's led off a lot of the innings, and she's very comfortable in that role as the leadoff hitter.
Just that slight shift this year in mentality from get them on, move them over, to get them on, move them in. A more aggressive mindset for the Duke Blue Devils. And that has been on full display so far in this tournament and in the early goings of their season.
Yeah, and think about, too, that they had some pretty big impact losses with Tessa Malaulu and Danny Dreckmuller, and then Anna Gold, who was one of the best players to ever play at Duke in their short history.
1-2 down the line and right, and just foul off the bat of Rodriguez.
Anna Gold this past season was the AUSL Rookie of the Year. She had such a good year, first year as a pro. So you think about the loss of her defensively and offensively, just 3 impact losses that they had to graduation. Added 4 different transfers and then had 6 freshmen join their team.
Rodriguez in the air to right. Franklin giving chase, makes the catch to end the inning. A 5-1 lead for Duke. We will talk with LSU head coach before they come to the plate. Beth Torina next. Welcome back to the 2026 Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational. Back on field 9 at the Eddie Seymour Softball Complex, LSU and Duke. We're joined by Beth Torina. Coach, you're getting ready to turn your lineup over for the 3rd time. No hits since the 2nd inning. What would you like to see from your offense moving forward?
Well, I think they're battling. I think they're doing a good job getting runners on base, and we've had some opportunities, so just stay with the plan and keep on.
Coach, it's so early in this season, but what have you already learned about this team from opening weekend and what you've seen so far in Clearwater?
Yeah, we're learning all the time. We're growing. I think we have a lot of experience, but maybe not necessarily a lot of experience on the same field together. So we're trying to coach them through it. We're trying to learn. I know we're competitive. I know we have great athletes. I know, they understand how to fight. So hopefully we can do a little bit of that right now.
Coach, I dig the hat, by the way. Thank you for your time.
Cool? Yeah. Well, hey, shout out to all the people back in Baton Rouge and my 3 girls.
And the zip up, by the way. I was already thinking that. Thanks, Coach. That was really cool with the
good stuff.
Purple and white.
The white and the purple is looking fresh tonight on the LSU Tigers. 0 for 5, though, with runners on, Amanda, and still taking on Cassidy Kerr. Be interesting to see what adjustments they might make 3rd time through. This is Alex Franklin's 2nd time through, and she goes yard. LSU back on the board to start the bottom of the 4th.
If you want to see what unloading on a swing looks like, just watch this right here. Looking for that inner half again, like we've seen some of these LSU right-handed hitters do, and they get their barrel there. First career home run for Alex Franklin. A no-doubter off the bat. She got all of that, and LSU needed that. She was so ready for her last at-bat, too. You saw her getting pumped up for her first at-bat off of Curd. Came away with just a fielder's choice, so she went up looking early in the count against her, got a pitch that she could drive and did it. You saw excited, too. Her teammates were so pumped for her, knowing that that's her first career home run. It's a big deal by Alex Franklin.
It's an offense, Amanda, that last year had the highest batting average and on-base percentage in program history. Home runs were a little bit down. Power was a big point of emphasis for Brian Neal in the offseason.
And they felt like with this roster that they put together and some ads from the transfer portal, like Kylie Edwards at the plate, that they were going to be able to hit for a little bit more power this season. One of the deepest lineups that they feel like they've ever had. .42 home runs last year. 27 of them came
from Edwards and Bergeron, wanting to expand that power throughout the lineup a little bit more. And to your point, adding the likes of Kylie Edwards to the transfer portal. More opportunities for Alex Franklin as a sophomore. 3-1 roped into left field. Well struck base hit for Edwards.
Another pulled hit toward the left side, and you see this energy and emotion from this team of a lot of new faces like Beth Torina just trying to feel each other out, trying to learn to play together as a team. Look at her get her hips cleared and that barrel out in front to get that inside pitch and drive it hard to the left side. Another crushed ball off the bat of a right-handed hitter for LSU in this inning.
Out of the dugout for Duke comes Marissa Young. They had just 2 hits at LSU over the first 3 innings, now back-to-back, and both very well-struck balls.
At the top of the lineup, looming with Jayla Lassiter in the hole. Good time for a timeout to be called by Marissa Young. Lassiter is 2 for 2 off of Cassidy Curd today, and she's actually going to be on deck.
And for Duke, they have had Larissa Jaquez keeping loose really over the last 2 innings down the right field line in the Duke bullpen. Before Lassiter, it's Avery Hodge in the 9 spot. Lefty drops down a bunt. And no play in either bag. What execution by the starting third baseman, pushing Edwards into scoring position.
So much speed throughout this LSU lineup because they're just so athletic. And Avery Hodge in the 9 hole has speed on the left side, deadens this bunt out in front of home plate. Really nothing that Curd or Baker or Rodriguez could do with that well-placed bunt. Looking for just a sacrifice bunt situation, but when you have speed like Hodge, it turns into a hit.
Here is Lassiter. Looks at a strike. All of a sudden, the tying run at the plate for LSU in the bottom of the 4th, and nobody out.
I think Jayla Lassiter is going to have a really big year for LSU this season. She's already had a great career. Remember, she started at Ole Miss. Very good athlete there, then transferred over to Baton Rouge.
Lassiter, slow roller at third. Baker only plays a bare hand throw across the diamond, and she makes it for the first out.
Still a productive out, though, for the Tigers to advance those 2 runners both now in scoring position. Hit off the end of the bat. Baker did a nice job of charging this, getting around it, throwing on the run. That is a bang-bang play. Everything has to be perfect with the speed of Lassiter, who is hustling down the line. And Baker did do everything perfect to get that out.
Sierra Daniel, coming off a monster year at the plate a season ago, has started well this year. Flies it into left field, foul territory. It gets out of play. Went on a tear at the end of last season. Batting average up 90 points, and it's carried over this year. 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position, has 2 in scoring position here to second base. Double clutch from Jennings, ends up taking the out at first. In to score Edwards. Strike one, Allie Hutchins. Tigers have struggled with 2 outs at Clearwater, just 1 for 18. Hutchins has a chance to right that ship here. One of those 2-out hits, the only 2-out hit, in fact, came against Curd in the second inning of this game.
70 miles.
To count 1-2.
70 miles an hour up at the eyes there. Cassidy Curd can bring the velocity from the left side. That rise ball at 70, not easy for a right-handed hitter to catch up to. Has really good velocity and works ahead here, still with the lead in a 1-2 count.
Runner at third, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curd pulls the string and leaves a runner aboard. But Alex Franklin, with her first career home run, brings the Tigers back in it.
What a moment, an emotional moment for Franklin, and something that LSU needed so bad to get back into this game. Led off the inning, they scored 2 runs, and she had a solo shot. That home run moment was so fun by Alex Franklin, her first career home run. One of 2 runs that LSU put on the board in the bottom of the 4th inning as both teams scored in the 4th inning, and Duke up on LSU 5-3.
It's a big response, Amanda, by LSU in that last half inning. Felt like they really needed it. This game teetering on the edge. And Jaden Heavner back out there for the Tigers.
All right, and the games have just been so good at the Clearwater Invitational already.
You are giddy right now.
I'm like, even though this is our 3rd game and we've been here for, a while, I'm so giddy. This game is so good. The one next door went extra innings between, UCLA and
Oklahoma State.
At Oklahoma State. A lot of games blending in. That was a great one.
State got the win, by the way, in extra innings.
A walk-off action. Texas Tech just run-ruled FAU 8-0. Kennedy pitched that game. And give up 2 hits in 5 innings.
Credit to Jaden Heavner, who has been through it in this game. Has hit 3 batters, has walked 3 batters, has been tagged a little bit. Multiple extra base hits, but remains in the fight. 1 down and an 0-1 count now to Jada Baker.
Has had 3 strikeouts on the day. Duke is just great at bats off of her. She's had 1 1-2-3 inning, 3 up, 3 down, back in the top of the 3rd. She's the first left-handed pitcher at LSU.
Wild.
I mean,
and she's a darn good one, too. We talked about some of the records that she set. 68 hits, the fewest by a freshman pitcher in program history last year. Gets a strikeout of Baker, 2 down.
Well, you'll remember down the stretch, Matt, she really kind of became the ace for the LSU staff and pitched in some big games. She started to have just some shutdown innings, had swings and misses like that. That's her 4th strikeout. Another one on her rise ball, but also had Sydney Bruzon on staff. But really, toward the end of the season, it was Jane Heavner that was getting some bigger outs and able to shut down some hitters better than what Bruzon was able to do, who now is at Oklahoma, transferred there for her senior season.
Taking on a pinch hitter here in Gabriella Shattuck.
Had some huge wins, Huebner did, against Arkansas and Texas. A pitching staff for Beth Torina that has 5 new pitchers on it. 3 freshmen, 2 transfers.
When a sophomore is your most experienced returner, it's a pretty good indication that a lot of change has happened in the offseason. So a lot of that changed good, though, in the words of Beth Torina. They needed some fresh energy in Baton Rouge. Dealing with some of the pressures of not getting out of their own regional. But Jayden Huebner, by all accounts, has a great way about her. Somebody that the newcomers can look to. 2-2 in the air to left, tailing towards the line, and it drops for Shattuck. 2 out, pinch hit, base hit. In the 9 spot to turn the lineup over for Deanna Jennings.
You know, I thought it was interesting, Matt, that she had told us coming into the weekend, you know, we weren't bulletproof last season for every situation. That was her words. And we've added some pieces that she felt like was going to help us in those spots. Wanted a big rise ball arm, needed some strikeouts and just some easy pop-ups. So in situations, it takes a little bit of pressure off of the LSU defense with ground balls and down in the zone. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your defense. They wanted to bring in a strikeout, rise ball pitcher. There's Peyton Monticelli that they brought in. Of course, Jade Huebner has that way about her as well. And even the players asked to have captains this season. So they have captains for the first time in a while, and even Beth Torina admittedly said, you know, I've been uncomfortable and did things differently in the off season.
Up the middle, backhand play at second base by Sierra Daniel. Gold glove work by the LSU veteran to end the inning.
You kind of start to feel maybe a little bit of momentum swinging toward the LSU side after scoring 2 in a defensive play like this. Is the momentum with LSU?
favorite memory here at Clearwater would probably be just staying after a game that we just won and signing all the autographs and balls of the little girls and seeing that many fans just coming to support Duke softball, but then also every other college softball team.
Lucky Amina Vega, she's gotten to play in this tournament twice as a Duke Blue Devil, back in 2023 and now again here in 2026. And if I was a player in this tournament, I would be petitioning to come here every year because it's that awesome. That's the easiest play Tori Edwards is going to make all year. Ball rolled right onto the bag. Did they call it foul? They did. She thought she had out number one and said it's strike one. The way Vega has played in this tournament, it's no wonder she's such a big fan. 2 hits in this game alone against LSU, 2 runs scored. Run batted in, one of those hits a triple back in the second inning. Duke has scored in 3 of 5 innings to this point, and in each of those 3, the leadoff hitter got aboard.
Gotten her a couple of times with that rise ball. Saw her swing and miss at that pitch a couple of times too against Texas A&M. We'll see if Huebner goes back to that rise ball to try to strike her out again on it.
Payoff. Vega, lazy fly ball to center. And Huebner retires the leadoff batter for the second inning in a row.
The shortstop, Tyrena Jones.
Third time through this Duke lineup, which at the top early in this game did a lot of damage against Jaden Huebner. Quiet the second time through. What adjustments does Duke make against the sophomore ace?
I think they've done a good job of really making her work, throw a lot of pitches in this game, over the 100 pitch mark now, but I think that Huebner's just done a good job of battling and hanging in there. I mean, we've seen some really nice fight out of both teams in the circle and at the plate. It's been a good one. Huebner, too, as this game has gone on, I feel like she's gotten some more swings and misses, especially with that rise ball. That rise ball was her best swing and miss pitch last year. 30% swing and miss rate on her rise ball, her best swing and miss pitch.
Has a strikeout in each of the last 3 innings. Working on her 5th of the day here, a 2-2 to Jones.
A little bit of off-speed pitch mixed there to show Jones. Jones and Oakland hitting 3 and 4 in this Duke lineup. Just big-time adds to have this already strong offensive lineup that Coach Young has put together.
Jones down the left field line. Lorenz watches it sail out of play. Good at bat here from the Purdue transfer. Got a 5-game hit streak to start the year. And draws a walk with one down in the 6th here.
And on base all 4 times, all 4 plate appearances for Tyrena Jones. And Oakland's been on base a ton too. 2 hit by pitches and then a hard line drive to shortstop that just didn't have any luck for her. A highly respected bat. I know that Marissa Young is pumped to get her back into the order after missing the opening weekend. And even, you know, when she was talking about Jess Oakland in a season preview podcast, she had said that she felt like they would have ended the World Series if they would have had her bat last year, but unfortunately had to sit out because of the transfer rules. But even though she sat out, she was a great player coach to them and learned a ton in the dugout, trying to make an impact as best as she can, being an incredible teammate in it with every player in their at-bats last season. Great teammate that Jess Oakland showed that she was despite not being able to play.
Moves Tyrena Jones in a scoring position. A 2-run lead here in the top of the 6th, 2 down for Duke. And Jayla Stafford looks at a strike.
I like that little off-speed pitch that Heavner is working in here late in this game. Be a big difference maker for her to throw that pitch consistently and put it in the back of these hitters' minds.
Trying to keep Duke off balance. It's been an offense that has gone on a tear today with runners in scoring position. Batting just below 500. 7 for 16 on the day through 2 games.
Scored 13 runs in 2 games, scored 8 in their win against Texas A&M.
Some really explosive swings too. I mean, in the A&M game, they had 3 home runs. In this game, we've seen some really well-struck balls, including a triple by Amina Vega. Stafford has one of the 5 runs batted in. Came back in the 4th off Heavner. 2-2 with a runner on second.
I think to have success off of Heavner, it's all about taking that pitch right there. She wants you to chase that rise ball, just trying to make her bring that rise ball down through the zone, and hopefully she spins one up that doesn't have as much spin on it. You can punish it.
Stafford into right, and Franklin makes the catch to end the inning. LSU trails by 2. Bottom 3 in their order, 2 up when we come back. We welcome you back to the Eddie Seymour Softball Complex, home to the Clearwater Invitational for the 7th straight year. Good one going here on field 9. Matt Schumacher, the former Aggie All-American. Amanda Scarborough. LSU has just hung around in this game. It looked early like Duke was really in command. Tigers have hit the ball well. That one right to the shortstop, Tyrena Jones, for the first out.
Alex Franklin has really good exit velocity. You can tell the ball comes off of her bat. A lot of power, good swing there, but good range by Tyrena Jones.
Last time Kylie Edwards came to the plate, she singled and scored. Really hasn't been much activity for LSU since that 4th inning. Cassidy Curd has set down 7 in a row.
Especially hard to do too, because she sat down 7 in a row the 3rd time through the order.
Yep.
Usually it's the opposite, right? Like you'll go 7 in a row, maybe first time through, and then they start to get on you the 3rd time through. But that's why, you know, for both of these pitchers, just major props to them for sticking around and fighting in this game. Offenses have shown up at times and had really good plate discipline at times to a couple of pitchers that tend to lack command.
And Amanda, no free passes for Cassidy Curd so far, 3rd time through. She had 4 first 2 times through against LSU. 2-1 Edwards upstairs. Little chin music. That'll get Edwards' attention. Hitter's count.
Tell she's constantly talking to her catcher, Kyrie Rodriguez, and communicating, staying in it.
That would be a little unsettling for me if I was in the batter's box and I saw a ball whiz past me at 70 and the pitcher's laughing. I wouldn't be laughing. Comes back right over the heart of the plate with a strike to make it a full count.
A little backdoor curveball right at the knees, well-spotted pitch. And talked about how the last time that Duke was here was back in 2023 when Cassidy Curd was a freshman, and she pitched so well as a freshman here in this tournament. And she's calling her own pitches at times too, by the way. Sometimes you'll hear her communicate to her catcher and kind of yell something out. It's just her kind of looking down her wristband and saying 1-4-2 or whatever it is on the wristband and communicating what she wants to throw to Rodriguez.
Good battle here with Kylie Edwards. A 7-pitch at bat. Edwards a staple in the Mississippi State lineup in previous years. First year at LSU. Rolls it over to the left side. 2 outs to the shortstop, Tyrena Jones.
Coach Marissa Young said that she was just really proud of Cassidy Curd in this offseason. Last year, she just didn't have the season that she wanted to have, and she was proud of her, how she kind of faced that head on. Felt like she came back better both mentally and physically, just ready to finish her career. Comes to work every day, hungry to grow and get better. Knows what she needs to do, too, to take care of her body and keep her healthy throughout this season. It's going to be important. Her staying healthy and pitching the way that Cassidy Curd can pitch is just going to be an important part of the success of this Duke team this season.
100 pitches on the day for Curd.
And a deeper staff that she has behind her now, too. Marissa Young went and grabbed a couple of transfers in the portal and really had intentions of creating a deeper pitching staff behind her ace and Curd.
Two to Hodge. Ground ball, first base, raised to the bag, and the play is made by Stafford. 9 straight retired for Cassidy Curd. We go to the 7th. Duke with a 2-run lead.
Going off in Clearwater.
3 games going on simultaneously, all on the plus. Ours here on field 9. Tennessee with a commanding lead on James Madison over on field 8. And Missouri leading number 7 UCLA right now, who just lost an extra innings to Oklahoma State. We will see the Bruins here on field 9 a couple of times before the end of the tournament.
It's definitely gotten colder here, and it happened like about an hour ago that the temperatures started to drop.
I'm not prepared. Leadoff base hit for Kyrie Rodriguez. And remember, Duke has scored in every inning in which the leadoff runner has reached.
Re-entering now batting, the right fielder, Layla Lamar.
Meanwhile, Maddox McKee into the game in left field for Char Lorenz. Rodriguez at first as Layla Lamar comes in.
So one Marissa Young daughter is on this field playing with her at Duke, and the other is just about 100 feet away on field 8 playing against Missouri right now. Jolena Lamar, younger sister of Layla.
Marissa did say that between her first game of the day and the start of this one, she did sneak an inning or two to watch her other daughter play Oklahoma State. How fun is that? You get to coach one daughter in the Clearwater Invite. You get to walk 20 feet over to watch your other daughter play for UCLA.
Really cool. Has 4 children.
She did say she would not take off the Duke gear, though, even wandering over to root for her daughter who plays for the Bruins.
Yeah, no, not happening.
My heart is with her, but my allegiance is to the Blue Devils. One gone in the 7th.
Layla had started at Florida and then entered the transfer portal. See a little interaction there. Little Bat Busters team.
And the giant softball to make room for all the autographs. This cracks me up with the little kids carrying those around. This one down the line and left foul. Got a lot of people out of their seats off the bat of Jada Baker. That was home run distance. He was trying to wave it fair.
You're like, where did it go? Did it hit a car? Is it getting run over? Or what happened to it? The street's just right there.
In the line of fire if you're on the tail end of rush hour traffic here in Clearwater. 0-1, handcuffed her, but she sprayed it into center field. 2 base knocks in the 7th for Duke, trying to add some insurance to this 2-run lead.
Now 10 hits for Duke off of Jayden Heavner, which is just a tough task to do with how deceptive her stuff is. That one she even was able to jam Baker, but she was able to get enough of it to flare it out to center field, and now 2 on for Duke.
To your point, Heavner set the program freshman record for fewest hits allowed last year. 68 all season. Has given up 10 in this game. Meanwhile, KK Mathis coming in to pinch hit for Aaliyah Terrell in the 9 spot. And a pinch runner at second base. It's Ariel Kruger.
And then hitting for the Blue Devils, number 27, KK Mathis.
Last pinch hitter in the 9 spot for Duke reached with a single. That was back in the 5th. Mathis trying to do the same here in the 7th. Oh, and that got Mathis. Bases loaded in the 7th as we flip the lineup to Jennings, and now home plate umpire Chelsea Clark is going to say it was a foul ball.
Foul ball, or maybe it was the location of the pitch. Marissa Young is going to ask for help here. Maybe she's saying, yeah, foul ball off the knob of her bat.
She certainly made an attempt to get out of the way. And now they're going to say, after they got together as a umpiring crew, that it was a foul ball. Rather it was not a foul ball, and Beth Torina now comes out to argue it.
Yeah, she's asking, how can you see that? Or most likely she's asking, how can you see that from so far away that it didn't hit the knob of the bat, I think. And I would think I would be asking the same thing. And she got tossed. And remember, there's no video replay review here at Clearwater, so can't go back and look at it.
Right, Beth Torina has some extra words for Tatum Stoding, our second base umpire.
Beth Torina calls the pitches for this LSU pitching staff, so wondering who's going to take over with the pitch calling. Is it going to go to Macy Bergeron to call pitches now? I thought that it hit her. I didn't think that it hit her bat. I think it does clearly get her on her...
The wrist.
Yeah, wrist, that bony area right there, and I think that ultimately that is the right call, but I think from Beth Torina's perspective, she's probably wondering how can you make that call being from so far away.
Here's how it sounded. So the bases are loaded for Deanna Jennings, and Jaden Heavner, with all the emotions here, has to zero back in. Her team still very much in this game, as her head coach was just run from the game. Well, if she can get a couple of quick outs here, the top of the LSU lineup awaits in the bottom of the 7th.
You'd like to believe here that most likely Bergeron is the one calling pitches now, as I think about what the other option would be from inside the dugout. The rest of the 3 assistant coaches are all hitting minds on staff, with Bryce Neal and Sandy Moten and then Taylor Pleasance.
2-2 count from Heavner as Bergeron looks into the dugout, taking signs from somebody.
Could potentially be Zach Germain, who's the data analyst for the LSU team.
2-2 left side, fielded in foul territory by Avery Hodge. And a deep breath from the sophomore ace, Jaden Heavner, who has battled to stay in this game.
After 2 complete games last weekend and opening weekend, 130 pitches into this game. Infield pulled in here with the bases loaded, trying to induce a double play. It's going to be tough, though, with the speed of Jennings.
This is the part of the lineup that has done all the damage. Most of it over the first couple of innings. Duke has not scored since the 4th. 2-2 upstairs, and Jennings lays off.
It's a great take. It's a time, too, that Jennings, earlier in her career, mostly known to be a slapper, but with the infield pulled in, RBI situation, want to see her power one through the infield to the outfield.
Shortstop Edwards comes home. No chance at a double play. That is best case scenario, however, for LSU. They get the second out and keep a run off the board.
So important for LSU to keep the score where it's at right now, just down by 2 runs, have what looks like just 3 outs to play with in the bottom of the 7th inning. They'll have 1, 2, and 3 coming up in their order.
Duke 3 for 9 tonight with 2 outs. They have scored 3 runs, and Amina Vega, you have to be careful with, Amanda. She's got 2 hits in this game, homered in the game earlier today against A&M.
Yeah, especially because Heavner is a rise ball pitcher. You saw that rise ball that Lessentine threw her, took it out of the yard. So seems like big risk, big reward pitch for a pitcher against Vega today. She's had some swings and misses against Heavner and against Lessentine on the rise ball, but you have to be able to spot it up. Make sure you're spinning it, because if it's a mistake, she will make you pay for it even on an 0-2 count.
Duke had bases loaded, 1 out. 0-2 count with 2 outs. Havener gets a strikeout to close the door on the Blue Devils in the 7th. Pumped up off the rubber. Top 3 in the lineup, 2 up next. Final 3 outs for the Tigers.
Remember, Beth Torina is not calling pitches in this moment. This is one of the best hitters in the ACC that Jaden Havener strikes out looking. It means that she was set up perfectly for the K.
An eventful day. Day 2 of this Clearwater tournament. 40 games in 4 days. Sun setting on day 2. You said there are winners and losers in this tournament, even though there's not a quote-unquote champion. Oklahoma State with a pair of top 10 wins. Tennessee defeating Nebraska. Georgia, 2-run rule victories. All 3 winners on day 2. Meanwhile, back here on field 9, Matt Schumacher, Amanda Scarborough with you. LSU trying to mount a comeback victory. Down Beth Torina, who is ejected last half inning. They have hung around in this game. And remember, just a week ago, they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th to beat NC State 7-5. It was Jayla Lassiter who leads it off, who had the walk-off in that win. And she lifts this into right field and down for a base hit. Lassiter stretching it for 2. In with the slide. And the tying run comes to the plate in the 7th for LSU.
And that means, too, with her reaching, that it's very likely that Tori Edwards is going to come up in this inning if there's not a double play. The home run hitter, Tori Edwards. Jayla Lassiter, though, just getting it done with another extra base hit in this game. She's been so impressive. I love watching her play, and gets herself into second base, setting the tone, the energy, and the emotion for LSU in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Strike 1 to Sierra Daniel. Daniel has walked and driven in a run tonight. Cassidy Curd back in the circle for Duke. This is the 4th time through the order for Curd against LSU.
Maida Vega was not happy at second base about that lack of a strike called there, thinking that it was about the same pitch that she was struck out on to end the inning. It's been a fiery game here till the end. I mean, these last couple of innings, I feel like have just had some extra Cajun spice on them.
Hear it from coaches around here all the time. So many of these games have super regional feels. This one included. 1-2 from Curd.
And the LSU dugout is feisty right now, wanting this win. You know where you're at in your order. You want to make this comeback. Allie Hutchins, the Kentucky transfer, is on deck, and the Tori Edwards in the hole trying to get up in this inning. It's a great take.
Full count to Daniel. Game tying run at the plate. 113th pitch of the night from Cassidy Curd. And the game tying run is aboard with nobody out in the 7th.
It was such a good at bat by Sierra Daniel. She just did not give in to Curd at all. She tried several different ways, different types of pitches to see if she would bite, and she didn't.
5th walk issued tonight by Curd, but just the 2nd since the 1st inning. She had been so good, Amanda. Third and fourth time through this LSU order, and now Marissa Young in the circle to just break things up a little bit. Allie Hutchins will come to the plate with one of the most dangerous hitters in America last year. Tori Edwards looming on deck, had those 18 home runs as a freshman for the Tigers last year.
This would be huge for Duke to try to find a way to get a double play here. You have a force at any bag except for home. And with Cassidy Curd getting some 3 ground ball outs back in the 6th inning, have double play potential. Of course, they're going to try to sacrifice her over to try to take off of that, try to take that double play off and move 2 runners in scoring position for Tori Edwards. We'll see if Allie Hutchins can find a way to advance them.
Remember, Curd had set down 9 in a row over the last 3 innings before the leadoff double by Lassiter, who stands at second base with nobody out. Hutchins unable to catch that ball upstairs.
And in this situation, Marissa Young calling the pitches for Cassidy Curd, trying to induce a pop-up here for the bunt. And luckily for that strategy, Cassidy Curd is a rise ball pitcher, which will try to help that happen.
1-1 is popped up, and that eliminates the opportunity for LSU to move the runner over.
Yeah, it's just going to be rise, rise, rise in this bunt situation, knowing that they want her to pop up to make that an easier out and an unproductive out for Hutchins with the bunt attempt.
So now Tori Edwards, 381 hitters so far this year in the cleanup spot for LSU. Works at strike 1.
That is a pitcher's pitch right there. Curveball in the inner half, getting it a little bit off the plate. And you're throwing to Tori Edwards. You cannot miss on the plate. She will punish it.
Big swing there from Edwards.
That had to have been dancing a little bit at the plate because that looked like it was right over the heart of the plate. But that little bit of upspin that Curd has with her rise got Edwards to swing underneath it.
The reigning SEC Freshman of the Year with the tying run at first base. What do you go back to here if you're Cassidy Curd?
I'd go back to a rise, up and in on the hands. Try to sneak that in. To not let her hands get out and extended.
1-2 pitch.
That's a great eye by Tori Edwards. Would have liked to have seen that pitch a little bit more inside, but as a pitcher, you just feel like you have to be so careful in this situation. You do not want Tori Edwards to be the one that beats you.
Has already homered in this tournament. Spoils the 2-2.
Off speed, took a little bit off of that one. She barely got a piece.
Daniel at first, the tying run. Lassiter at second, 1 down in the bottom of the 7th in a 2-run game. Strike 3 called. What a pitch by Cassidy Curd. And the Tigers are down to their final out.
Frozer, I'm shocked that she just took that pitch. Just must have been moving, some late break. Think about it. This is the 4th time for Tori Edwards to face Cassidy Curd, and she froze her with what looked like a backdoor curveball in the outer half. That is such a big pitch in this game. Not easy to do. Matt, these hitters have faced her 4 times. She's labored at times in this game, 125 pitches in, and the fact that she just got the All-American to strike out looking is a huge deal for Curd and maybe even her season, her confidence in this Duke team.
0-1 count to Macy Bergeron. Bergeron, too, a 2025 All-American. 364 with 9 homers and 49 runs batted in. Takes strike 2.
Look at her lean on that off-speed pitch a little bit more here late in this game, knowing that they've already seen her 4 times.
Tigers down to their final strike.
This has some postseason intensity to it. It's only February 13th. We have a long way to go. That's what these games feel like here at Clearwater. Great competition.
Duke had yet to beat a top 25 this year. Chance to do back-to-back top 10 wins on their opening day at Clearwater. Just missed for ball 2.
A little low rise ball on the outside corner. Rodriguez trying to stick that pitch, but a good take by Bergeron to work it to this one. LSU still has a chance. It just takes one swing.
Bergeron in the air to center. Back on it, Jennings. That will do it. Back-to-back top 10 wins for the Duke Blue Devils on their first day of the Clearwater tournament.
Statement day for Duke, absolutely. 2 top 10 wins for Marissa Young and this Duke program. Great offensive day, gutsy performance by Cassidy Curd. It's her 20th career complete game. She just had an exceptional fight in her today, wanting to stick around in this game. Duke had 10 hits, scored those 5 runs, finding different ways to score. I think she's yelling, "Stay fighting." That was intense at the end. My goodness.
It felt like a super regional. No two ways about it. Cassidy Curd, what a performance. I mean, gutsy. Duke is in good hands this year with her as the ace. Day 2 is done here on Field 9. For Amanda Scarborough, Matt Schumacher saying good night from Clearwater. We will see you again here tomorrow afternoon for more softball. Duke wins it 5-3.